I can do them or assign them to someone else or assign someone to assist me with that, and that is exactly what I did. By assisting, by assigning or asking the most senior person in our office who has the most experience on providing dealing with information in our SIMS prep and our SIMS results, which is kind of Cochran, to help me to proceed. Like I said, in March primary, it worked fine. We didn't have any difficulty. We worked together, collaborated, and got information out on time when it was supposed to get. But for this particular election, she refused to have to do so. So to answer your question, no, they didn't get out. But to answer your question in a way, have we had collaborative, working together, there should have been a problem.
Okay, Mr. Stokes.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I asked the county administrator, was she involved in this situation? She said she was not, and I asked her because even though we're dealing with elected officials, whether it's the financial responsibility, lawsuits come along the way, and the other issues that may arise is going to be upon this board to make some decisions. So I would hope that, whether they're elected or not, they work with the county administrator. Because some cases, it seemed like from what I'm hearing here today, sabotage was a part of it. But the worst is going to be Hinds County as a whole. It's not going to be one division. It's going to be the whole Hinds County. So now we got to make some decisions, because what I'm hearing one supervisor says that some of our people in harm's way, the military won't be able to vote because they may not get more time. Well, what we need to do now is let's fix the problem. Let's get the county administrator involved. Let's hire people who do this. And that way we'll get everything done in a timely manner. And we're not going to worry about who don't want to work with anybody and those kind of things. Let's find some money, Ms. Davis, and get with the election commissioners, and let's make sure we can get this done, whatever needs to be done. And we can deal with who should have done what after this. But we got to make sure that everything's done right, because we got an election right around the corner. Now that's on that issue. Now what I had a question about is the voting machines. And I know we had asked and tried to get news, and I know y'all been looking, and is no way we're going to have new machines by the election?
No, sir. No, sir. To answer that question, emphatically, no.
We're going to, Mr. Davis is going to bring something regarding the voting machines today.
Okay.
Okay, but I would like to ask for Mr. Otis to come to the podium, because I want to find out about this.
Why
Mr. Today?
Why Mr. Otis is on his way, and I'd like to explain to the body, to the board. When asked as late as September 26th, Mr. Stokes, after a plea as to let's work together and get these votes out and get these things, get these ballots out, I was presented by Commissioner Cochran that the only way that she would help me do her part to get those ballots out was that I would change the name order in which the ballot had already been presented to send to the Secretary of State's office. And through that order, you can do the ballots based on alphabetically by name, or you can do the ballots based on party alphabetically as well, ascending or descending. I put the ballots on in the SIMS direct, and by the way, Commissioner Cochran has gone in over the weekend and taken those ballots off of the SIMS registry. So over now in the circuit clerk's office, they have no ballot to register.
Could we not get outside help, because we got, I don't know if we're infighting, but it's Hinds County that's going to be, with the election right around the corner, everybody thinks it's getting tight because we hear that different tricks being tried against the president. Can we not, in the largest county population-wise in the state of Mississippi, find some outside help to make sure everything goes smoothly from here forward?
Yes, sir. We there is an allowance in our budget, and I think it's 2315 266. Correct me if I'm wrong, Counselor. and I may be on the number 266 or 263 or 259. That would allow us to bring in higher help in terms of that. Now, and that was what you were brought, Miss Madeline, under that particular statute. I have asked around different people in the county and sought help as much as I could. But I want you to understand that I work very hard over there at the commission, very tirelessly, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning for the last week or so, trying to figure things out on one of the words that she left me was that she emphatically, I'm not going to help you, you can figure it out. And then on the 27th, the fact of the matter that if I change the name of it on the ballot, that she would go proceed and do what I was asking her to do all along. So that's the kind of help I got.
Mr. President, let me just make a quick comment.
Yes, sir.
We're blasting someone who's not here.
Well, she's
I don't think that we really this is the forum for this.
No,
but
sir.
if it is, and you're going to allow it, I think we should get
Let
Ms. Cochran over here and let her have the opportunity to explain her side of the story.
Yeah, Supervisor, you asked me a question and I answered the question.
Well, no, you started before I asked you the question.
No.
Okay, let's do this. Mr. Brand, if you would call Ms. Cochran and see if she'd like to come over, because this is something that's very important. We're talking about individuals' privilege of voting, and that's what we're concerned with here. So we want to make sure that we get this right. We do know, so what you're telling me, and specifically, I want to make sure that this said for the record, is that you were told that if you put the Republican label on top of the Democratic label, that Ms. Cochran said that she would help you. Am I correct in saying that?
No, she did not use the word Republican. She said that if I would allow her to reassign the name alphabetically based on the individual name. Now, when you look at the list, Bill Martin comes before Benny Thompson. When you look at the list, Marilyn Avery comes before Primus Wheeler and James Reed. Now, if you can read into what you want to, but I do know those two people on the ballot are Republican. But now, to say this, and I have asked Mr. Otis to come over last Thursday or Wednesday to help me do that, and he was gracious enough to come over and try to help me figure out the system, and due to his limited knowledge of the system, he was not able to help me as much as I would have hoped for him.
Okay, let me hear from him, because I want to get a clear understanding as to what happened as it relates to these cards that went out. The cards that were supposed to go out, at least to District 41 and 39. How could they be right in the computer and they go out wrong? How could that happen?
I don't have an answer for that. It's on the state system in Sims. Maybe there's a delay in where they populate those fields or something. I really don't know. I mean, they're right now. They're right Saturday when I came and reran them. But
have all of the correct cards been reran and sent out?
They've been reran. We're waiting on cards.
Okay. But when you get the cards, do you check them before they go out to see if they are correct? Is that part of your procedure in what you do?
On these, no.
Okay, why not?
Because they enter the data, I assume it's right. We pull them down in front of them.
Okay.
We will now.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Callan, do you have any questions?
Yes, as of today, Mr. Clark, has the ballots been generated and presented to the circuit clerk's office?
Yes, ma'am. They have. I understand there's a matter of putting both sides on the back, because some of them had 2 pages, so we're going to do that. But I presented the ballots to the circuit clerk's office before I came to this meeting this morning. And to answer Mr. Fisher's question, I do have a letter to each one of you, and the other CCs from other people, Congressman Thompson and Wicker and so far, as to the events that have taken place over the last few days. So if you have that, you're welcome. I'll stay right here with you and bring her in front of the board and let her answer to what her charge is.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Otis, do we have any other questions for Mr. Otis at this point?
Just one. Mr. Otis, in your many years in working with the county, have you ever experienced this kind of problem?
No, but every one of these, when we do these notification cards, they're always different. I don't think we were at two the same. I mean, typically these cards are sent out just on a precinct change. Like you were in one, now you're in two. And this one is not the same as that, but no. But then, used to be we did all this in-house with our system. Now it's done off the state system, so it's kind of a new ballgame.
Okay.
I would like for this board to conduct an investigation as to what happened, including the state.
I support that. I will address more because my next question is going to be, is the Justice Department involved in these voting issues? And there's some concern about what's taking place, and we need to have some kind of record, official record, as to what's taking place, just in case the Justice Department, anybody wants to know what's going on over here in the largest county in the state of Mississippi. So I don't know if it's legal, I know it's your last day, or kind of military,
She's got to do it.
Yeah.
It's 5 people.
So some kind of
She
way,
says she works part-time. Like we work part-time.
some kind of way, we need something.
I think what we can do is after we listen to Ms. Cochran, we'll go with Ms. Calhoun's motion and charge the county administrator with help from investigative.
Okay, well, I second that motion.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Otis. You can quit then, Ms. Cochran, if you can come to the podium.
As a briefing up to you of what's been said, there has been an accusation that senior members of the Elections Commission have sabotaged this balloting process, have refused to work with people, and have ignored written notification of cooperation and collaboration to prepare the ballot. And when names started coming out, such as yours and Ms. Rhodes and Ms. Avery's, I thought it was time that one of y'all come over here and I don't like this forum as much as anybody else to do this, but as Mr. Clark decided to bring it to us and began by inferring that senior members of the Elections Commission staff were roadblocking him prior to me asking him any questions, that somebody at least have a chance to respond. And I'm sure I'm tired of it.
I don't even know how to respond to something like that. This man has been here for 8 years in this office. Just by osmosis, you learn a few things. It's not my problem that I have stepped forward and tried to gain the knowledge in order to do what is required in that office. I'm not the one that holds a full-time job, has a business of his own, and cannot be there on a regular basis. When it comes around to election time, when the ballot is being prepared, this gentleman is always at teaching training classes. By his choice, there have been opportunities for him to sit with me when I have done the ballot. And there have been times when he just couldn't be there. So to blame me or anybody else in that office for his shortcomings is totally out of line. And yes, he did ask me last week if I would help him. And I told him I think that no, and not at this point, because I think you can probably figure it out. You're going to learn more by doing than having somebody tell you what to do. He came to me the next day and asked me if I would help him. He just could not figure it out. He didn't know how to do it. And I said, no, Janelle. But I said, no, yes, I will. I'll do the ballot with the condition that it is done in the manner in which it's been done by this election commission for over 20 years. And that is with the two major parties listed first, alphabetical last name. That was adopted by the election commission prior to my being here 20 years ago. It was voted on by the election commission at that time that that was the fairest way for both parties. Whoever's last name came first, that would be listed between the Republicans and Democrats. And that's when this county was majority Republican. And it was the fair thing then, and it's the fair thing now. And I told him, I will do the ballot. We will get it done in the manner that it has been done in the last 20 years. And he chose not to. He said, it's my prerogative. I'm the chairman. I can do it any way I want to. And I said, then go do it. He said, I don't know how. I said, well, then you have this other option. I'll do the ballot, and we'll do it the way the commission has done it for the last 20-some years. That's as simple as that. I have not kept this man from learning anything, and I will not apologize for the knowledge that I have gained. And I don't know what's the problem with the voter cards.
The problem with the voter cards is that they're reportedly entered into the computer correctly, but when a person received them at their door, they were not changed. They were done incorrectly.
Precinct notification.
Precinct notification.
I have no knowledge of that, and I can't think anybody's trying to sabotage anything.
Okay.
May I?
Yes.
During my tenure here in the first term and the second term, even up to us today, I've asked this woman here, along with our Marilyn Avery, to what we call training and cross-training. On numerous of occasions, I've been in this body on numerous of occasions telling you the very same thing. Now, when Josephine Anderson was chair, she helped her.
I did the ballot when Josephine Anderson was chair.
When Dr. Rose was chair, during those 3 years, she helped her. And even during the first part of this year, during the primary, she helped me then. But why not now?
Because there comes a time when Josephine Anderson, when Dr. Rhodes, when Marilyn Avery were chairman, they asked me, it's the chairman's prerogative to see to the ballot getting done. They asked me to do that. I did that. I did the primary ballot. I did the municipal elections this year. At some point, it's time for somebody to step up to the plate and bear the responsibility.
I didn't fill out the ballots in the primary. Did I do that? Did I put them on?
Let's try to...
I'm talking about the CBS.
Hold on 1 second, please.
First off, let me say this.
Hold on 1 second, please. 1 second, please, so we can keep this on a professional level. If you just direct your remarks to me, and where we want to make this personal, then just direct it to me and we'll go from there.
I feel as though I have explained myself very clearly. We have an election going on. The phones are ringing off the wall, and it would be better served to be over there doing your work than over here complaining. So if I might be excused, I've got work to do.
I like to just direct one thing to the board.
You can now speak, and then we'll go from there.
Now, as of this last weekend, she took what I put on Sims off. There's no records on Sims.
Boy, are we misleading the public here?
You did.
No, just a minute.
Excuse me. Let's
All right, let me explain something.
Please, thank you.
It was taken off last week as well because there were changes that had to be made. You cannot make any changes to districts or precincts in Sims with an active ballot. Okay. So the ballot has to be deleted in order to make the changes. Friday afternoon, I had been trying to reach an attorney that was involved with the congressional redistricting because we have 2 precincts, 15 and 16, that were merged several years ago. That information never made it to, just like it didn't make it with the county redistricting, that it was not recognized in the database for any redistricting. As it turned out, precinct 15 and 16 were merged in our records, but not in the congressional redistricting. Precinct 15 was in one district, in the 3rd congressional district. Precinct 16 was in the 2nd congressional district. As of about 4:30 Friday afternoon, I finally spoke with the attorney that was involved with the redistricting congressional. Yes, in fact, they had to be changed. It had to be treated as a split precinct because they were in 2 separate the part that was in 15, 5 years ago, was in Congressional 3. So I had to go in and split those, and have gotten with Steve this morning to notify the precinct in 16A, which is Congressional 3, that they are in Congressional 3. So to say I went in and removed the ballot after I contacted him Friday afternoon, and he called me back to verify the information, he was very much aware of the fact that the ballot had to be removed. All the information is saved. You just go in and reassign it. So for him to make the statement that I went in and removed the ballot is totally bogus.
Did you do it or not?
Let me just ask a question.
Did you do
Ms.
it?
Cochran, let me just ask a question, and let's try to keep this on a professional level. My only question is, when you made the changes, when you make changes like that, does it require a majority of the board before any changes?
It's like anything, it's just like the redistricting with the county. We are mandated to do it. Just like you said with us, we had to go in and do it. And that is part of the contract, which is before you all right now. It included congressional redistricting, county redistricting, and legislative redistricting. So by us signing that, that is what we are obligated to do, and you have authorized that. And I just can't believe that somebody would come before the Board of Supervisors, send letters all over the county, admitting that they are too dumb to do the damn ballot.
Okay, let's keep this on the level and not make it personal.
Dumb is only what you're training and talk about people who are in charge and administrating, have 10 years of experience.
You're the chairman, it's your job.
Mr. Clark,
I do my job.
just speak to me and
Yes, sir.
we'll just
All
go
right.
from there. Okay, go ahead, we're finished.
Well, I have to say two things to you. This job does not require me or you as supervisors to be here 8 hours a day. It's a part-time job to start with. By the fact that I do have a business and run a business, but as you all know, who sits here to see me at that job, wouldn't see me at my personal job. But let me get to this. I have asked that woman, along with Mary, along with Dr. Rose, to show me the knowledge that I do lack. And they were not. They were not cross-trained or were not trying to train me on the machine, so I would have to depend on her to do anything.
Okay. All right. We're going to go to Mr. Stokes. Mr. Stokes, you're excused unless someone is. I think we're going to go to you.
Thank you. I know we have a motion on the floor for the investigation. Mr. Clark.
Yes, sir.
Just a suggestion, and if we are not currently up to speed, time-wise, make sure this election goes off without a hitch, could we please hire some outside help, whether it's from the Secretary of State's office, retired, or someone else? I know what you're saying when people have some knowledge and won't share it, but they should have been shared through cross-training. Everybody understands what you're saying. But right now, we can't fuss and fight about who hadn't done and who will. We got to make sure this election goes off in Hinds County without any problem. If one thing go wrong in this election, in this county, the largest county in the state of Mississippi, population-wise, they just going to keep showing the election commissioners having issues, and then they're going to show the Board of Supervisors not doing their job and of what's taking place in this county. And that's why I said, anytime you have those kind of problems, the county administrator and legal person need to be involved. And I know what you're saying is right. I ain't no need to getting upset about issues, because you one Hinds County. If you one Hinds County, we all can work together. I know that's common sense, but it's not done sometimes. So let's find somebody with the knowledge. Let's bring them on board, and let's have a good election in 3 weeks.
Yes, sir. I totally agree with you. That has been my intent and has been my charge as election commissioner since the time I took the oath of office. But I must say to you, I do take offense of the reference to my intelligence when it's your duty to help train the people to come on. Now, like I said earlier, and I'll leave this alone. I think I have. Well, I won't get into that about the knowledge of the machine. But let me say this. I've done my duty I've asked for help. I've talked to this president, I've talked to Madeline, I've talked to Secretary of State people, and we've gotten some help to do what I can do. But it just really offends me to no end when an individual do not step up for her responsibility, does things without your knowledge and not the consent of the whole board. Thank you.
Okay, well, we have a motion and a second on the floor to instruct the county administrator with the help that she may need from the sheriff's department.
Clarification. That was not a motion, that was a suggestion.
Ms. Calhoun made it, is it a motion or a suggestion?
It was a motion.
It was a motion.
I'll go ahead.
So it's been moved.
I did not make it as one, but I will make it.
It's been moved properly. Second. All those in favor of?
Yes.
Opposed to? Motion passes.
Mr. President,
Ms. Calhoun.
I just want to say that it's embarrassing that elected officials sworn to uphold the duties and responsibilities of their office cannot work together for the good of the citizens and voters of this county. It's embarrassing.
I agree. I do agree. But and as you can see by how I work, it's very difficult to work with.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Clark. We appreciate you giving us that update, and we look forward to getting other updates, and we'll find out exactly what happened to those cards eventually, hopefully. We'll now go to, we've handled all the elected officials, we'll now go to Greta and the claims.